comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
Welcome everybody to today's lesson about evaluating expressions. When we evaluate expressions, we are essentially plugging in a value for a variable. When we do this, we have to remember to use the order of operations. Before we get into our examples, I want to take a moment just to emphasize the difference between an expression and an equation. An equation is a statement that two expressions are equal. So, when we're looking at our expressions today, you'll notice that there's no equal sign. This is just basically a statement of value. An equation comes when we put an equal sign and we are saying that two expressions are then equal. So we'll have to be careful of the language we use when we're talking about expressions versus equations. Alright, on to the first example. In the first example, it says to evaluate the expression, and let's stop right there. Evaluate means we're going to assign value. Your answer is going to be a number. Alright, we're going to evaluate the expression 3 times the quantity x plus 4 minus 7 plus 4 for x equals 2. So I'm going to take 2, okay, the number 2, since that's what x is equal to, and plug it in to my expression. So I'll rewrite this as 3 times the quantity 2 plus 4 minus 7 plus 4. At this point, we really need to remember our order of operations. Remember that first we use our parentheses. Next would be the exponents. Then we have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, PEMDAS. Alright, we have some parentheses, so we first must do what's inside. 2 plus 4 is 6. Then we have minus 7 plus 4. We have some multiplication here, so that must be done first. 18 minus 7 plus 4. When we have all addition and subtraction, remember I can just move from left to right. So 18 minus 7 is 11, plus 4 is 15. So the value for this expression when x equals 2 is 15. Let's look at another example. It says we're going to evaluate the expression 2x minus 6 plus 10 for x equals negative 5. So I'll take negative 5 and plug it in for x. Let's rewrite my expression with negative 5 instead of x. 2 times negative 5 minus 6 plus 10. Notice my use of parentheses. I kept the parentheses around there, and I used parentheses to show that I'm plugging in a value. Alright, I need to do some multiplication. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, minus 6, and then plus 10. Negative 10 minus 6 is negative 16, and then plus 10. Negative 16 plus 10 is negative 6. Alright, on to the next example. In example number 3, we're going to evaluate the expression x plus 2/3 x, and we're going to plug in 3/4. Well, before we get moving, we need to do a little bit of a fractions review. Before you panic and run away from your computer, let's take a look at some of the rules, and I think we can make it through this together. Remember, when adding or subtracting fractions, you must have a common denominator. When we're multiplying fractions, we multiply straight across, and then we can simplify. And then when we divide fractions, remember we take the reciprocal and then multiply straight across. So let's evaluate our expression and use some of our fraction rules to come up with our answer. So remember, we are plugging in 3/4 for x. Alright, so let's rewrite our expression with 3/4 in it instead of x. I've got 3/4 plus 2/3 times 3/4. All right, I need to multiply straight across to do my multiplication first. So I've got 3/4 plus 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 4 is 12. All right, now I've got addition. Before I can add, I have to have common denominators. So, since I can get 4 to be 12, let's make 12 our common denominator. What will I have to do to 4 to get to 12? Well, I multiply it by 3. I do the same thing to the top. So, I'll rewrite my expression with the common denominator. It's 9/12 plus 6/12. I leave the denominator as 12 and I add across the top to get 15/12. 15/12 is an improper fraction. The top number is bigger than the bottom. So let's turn this into a mixed number. I need to decide how many times 12 goes into 15. Well, it goes in one whole time, and I've got 3 left over. So my mixed number is 1 3/12. I can reduce a little bit more, so my final answer is 1 1/4. I got 1/4 because I knew that 3 goes into both 3 and 12, so I did some division, came out with 1/4. My final answer. All right, now it's your turn. In the OYO problems, I want you to evaluate each of the expressions and then check your answers. Go ahead and pause the video and try these on your own. All right, for question number 1, remember we're plugging in 2 for x. So I have 4 times the quantity, 2 minus 6 plus 9, that's minus 9 plus 3. Okay, have to do what's inside the parentheses first. So 2 minus 6 is -4, minus 9 plus 3. I have to do my multiplication first. So 4 times -4 is -16, minus 9 plus 3. Now I have all addition and subtraction, so I can move from left to right. -16 minus 9 is -25, plus 3 is -22. All right, let's see how you did on number 2. We'll change up the color so we can see a little better. All right, plugging in -4 for x. So I'll rewrite with -4 instead of x. 3 times -4 plus 1. We're doing all that first before I subtract 8. Okay, 3 times -4 is -12 plus 1. And then minus 8. I'll do what's inside the parentheses first. So -12 plus 1 is -11. Minus 8 leaves me with -19. All right, I hope you learned a little something about evaluating expressions and the difference between an expression and an equation. If you have questions, feel free to ask. That's all for now.